So, our first award this evening is the Gold Medal for Distinguished Service. This award is the highest honor our organization can bestow. It is presented to an individual who has made a significant contribution to the law of torts and advanced the goal of NJAJ to protect the interests of its members and New Jersey families by working to preserve and strengthen laws for safer products and workplaces, cleaner environment, quality health care, safer highways. We have two winners this year, Stephen Benvenisti and Joel Feldman. They join an illustrious group of prior gold medal winners, and I would ask any who are here tonight to please stand at this time and be recognized. Prior gold medal winners, please stand. Now it is my pleasure to call up Gary Salomon, who will talk about his partner, the first of this year's recipients, Stephen Benvenisti. Gary?
Thank you. I feel like the bridesmaid and not the bride here tonight getting this award on behalf of Stephen. But Stephen's not able to be here because he actually is in Amsterdam talking to a group about the kind of stuff that he does. For those of you that do not know too much about Stephen, I've known him for 25 years. When Judge Austin gave me a phone call, said I should interview him, and I hired him on the spot. Later on, after I hired him, he became my partner subsequently, but I also learned that he had a major accident when he was a college student. The accident was so bad that he was in a coma for 10 days, broke both of his legs, fractures all over his face, almost every part of his body, over $1 million in medical bills. It was caused by a drunk driver, third offense, who had killed somebody prior to even striking Stephen. Stephen was crossing the street completely sober. He went on to have a miracle recovery, a full recovery, and he started to dedicate his life to trying to avoid these accidents. He also went on to law school after this. This happened in his senior year of college. And what he does on any given day is that he gets up and he'll go to a high school, a college, a police department, mostly working with young people. And he has developed a contract for life and tries to explain to these young kids, if you're going to drink, make the decision not to drive. And as a result, he has spoken to hundreds of thousands of people. He's lectured at the Judicial College in New Jersey. He speaks all over the country and now all over the world. He's recognized as a motivational speaker because his story is truly a motivational story. But I'm proud, in particular, that he's my best friend. He's my partner of over 15 years. I'm proud that he's a lawyer. I'm proud that he's a trial lawyer. But from the video you're about to see, you'll understand why we, as NJAJ members, in particular plaintiffs' personal injury lawyers, have to be especially proud, because he walks our walk and he talks our talk, and he's out there every day giving what we do a positive spin and a great message against all the forces that speak otherwise. So he can't be here, but by magic of video, he will be here, so enjoy the video. Thank you very much.
Award recipients this evening. You are most deserving, and I only wish I could be there to celebrate with you. By way of background, my name is Stephen Benvenisti, partner at the law firm of Davis, Saperstein, and Solomon, and I'm certified by the Supreme Court of New Jersey as a civil trial attorney. A few weeks ago, when I received a phone call from Lynn Kizis telling me that I was receiving the NJAJ Gold Medal for Distinguished Service Award, I was thrilled. I was thrilled just to get a call from Lynn. And then when I learned that the award was being given out on February 28th, I was so disappointed because I already had a commitment overseas that I had made last year and I could not break it. So I really wish I was there to celebrate with you tonight. By way of background, I am a partner at Davis, Saperstein & Solomon. I'm certified by the Supreme Court of New Jersey as a civil trial attorney. And knowing that I was receiving this award immediately made me reflect and realize that this is the profession that saved my life. And I thought back to when I was in college, at the College of New Jersey. And I actually had my whole life planned out. I was going to graduate college, go to law school, hopefully pass the bar exam, become a lawyer, get married, have kids, and live happily ever after. I was so determined, and nothing was going to stop me. At least that's what I thought. I didn't realize it at the time, but instead of graduating college and fulfilling my life's dreams, that instead I'd be on vacation with my fraternity brothers on spring break, having a great time, walking, when a drunk driver driving on the wrong side of the road with his lights off, going over 50 miles per hour, would crash into my body. My legs were crushed upon impact. People in the area heard a weird explosion sound, which was the sound of my head and face smashing through his windshield. And according to the police report, my body was thrown 70 feet where I landed face down and bleeding. My parents then received a phone call in the middle of the night that every parent prays they'll never get. It was a doctor from the hospital to tell them that I was a pedestrian struck by a motor vehicle, that my legs had been crushed, my tibia and fibula bones had been so badly shattered in both legs that portions of my bones were traumatically ejected from my legs, and they didn't believe they were going to be able to save my legs. But most seriously, I had lost a tremendous amount of blood and was receiving blood transfusions, and the CAT scans had already revealed severe brain damage to my brain's frontal lobe, cortex, and brainstem. And in that conversation, they explained that I was in the deepest possible coma. They said the Glasgow coma score that I was at the level 3. And I now understand that people with a Glasgow coma score of 3 do not survive. And the very, very few who do are profoundly disabled for the rest of their lives. So my father described being asleep and then all of a sudden getting this phone call, and minutes later he's holding the phone to his chest and he's whispering to my mom that they're asking to donate Stephen's organs, that they actually asked to donate my organs. My mother said no, and they immediately drove to Newark Airport and to get a flight to Daytona Beach, Florida that same day. My father said when he saw me in the coma, he started to wonder whether he was doing a disservice to society by not consenting to donate my organs. I mean, he got to see the CAT scans and they did not look good. There was hemorrhaging throughout my brain and my brain was swelling. And my parents got a room in the hospital with my family so that they could be by my side. They played recordings of my girlfriend and my family members cheering me on continuously, and they just tried to have hope. And then a couple weeks later, to everybody's surprise, one morning I just opened my eyes, and my parents described being thrilled beyond words. Their prayers had been answered. But in time, when the respirators were removed and they started to interact with me, they were welcomed to the world of traumatic brain injury, or as they put it so bluntly in 1989, of severe brain damage, for which there's no cure. I didn't recognize my family. I did not know my own name. They kept asking me who I was, and according to my family, I said my name was Herschel Walker, who was a famous football player from the 1980s. I couldn't articulate my thoughts with words that were common to my vocabulary. I apparently would scream sporadically for no reason. I was very confused, I was very lost, and my reading comprehension level was ruined. And this was a 21-year-old who had intended on going to law school after college, which was supposed to end 6 weeks later. In time, when I started to realize everything that was stolen from me because of a drunk driver, I actually made a pledge. I pledged that if there was a way for me to have a 100% full recovery from everything that happened to my body and everything that happened to my brain, I pledged that I'd spend the rest of my life doing everything I could to end drunk driving and to help people who were dealing with brain injury, because a drunk driver did this to me and I didn't want to see this happen to anyone else. So after 15 surgeries, 5 months of inpatient hospitalization, extensive rehabilitation, prayers, hard work, I was blessed with a full recovery physically. But my brain wasn't getting better, and I did not know why. And I was so terrified that my life was ruined, and I didn't know how I was going to finish the last 6 weeks of college I had left, and law school just seemed like a dream that was not possible. I managed to graduate college, and I decided to give law school a shot. And as soon as I got to law school, I realized that it was something that was far beyond anything that I could ever accomplish. And my fellow attorneys in the room know what the first year of law school was like, what a humbling experience it is. And it was extremely humbling for me, given that I had severe brain damage, and I wanted to quit. But I stayed in law school. I said, I'll give just the first year a shot. But here's what started happening that was amazing. As the days and the weeks and the months of the first year of law school were progressing, that with that insane curriculum, I noticed that my cognitive deficits started to go away one by one by one. I wasn't repeating myself anymore. Words were coming to me. My reading comprehension level was improving. And at the end of my first year of law school, I actually thought that I was cured of all of my cognitive deficits, and I needed proof. So that summer, I went for a full battery of neuropsychological testing, and to the doctor's surprise, he said he had never seen it before. He couldn't find anything wrong with me related to what had happened to my brain. I then completed the last 2 years of law school, passed the bar exam. I'm now a partner at Davis, Saperstein & Solomon, certified by the Supreme Court as a civil trial attorney, and the rest is history. But I made that pledge in the hospital, and I never forgot about that. And as a result of that pledge, I started volunteering with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I speak to about 30 different high schools every single year and colleges, and I'm overwhelmingly thrilled to know that there had been no drunk driving incidents or crashes after my speaking engagements at those schools, which is wonderful. I travel internationally to speak at medical conferences to help people who are dealing with brain injury. I try to instill in physicians in the United States and around the world that there is hope when it comes to traumatic brain injury. And I've gotten so many gifts from this otherwise completely horrible experience. One of the gifts is getting this award. It's like coming full circle from my entire experience. Another gift is, just by chance, had I not been hit by the drunk driver, I wouldn't have met my wife now, Dawn, of 20 years. I wouldn't have my son, Robert, who's 17, and my daughter, Laura, who's 15. And the other gift that I was given is that every single day that I've awakened since waking up from that coma, I am thrilled, because I genuinely believe that every day in life is a bonus day. And my colleagues here at Davis, Saperstein & Solomon accuse me of always smiling. If you've seen me at Boardwalk or at Meadowlands, and you'll see me in May, you'll see that I'll be smiling, and it's because I recognize every single day is a bonus day. And what I'd like to share with all of you, but especially my fellow attorneys, is please don't let an experience like mine happen to you or a family member to realize the gift that we have by waking up every single day in our lives and just being able to live our lives. And I recognize as attorneys that we live in a very negative environment when we're practicing law, because we're representing clients and their families who've been through the most miserable experience of their entire lives. But please know that we are playing such an important role in their lives. We are bringing the only bright side to an otherwise completely negative experience. And my final message to everyone in this room, but especially my fellow attorneys, is leave the office every day at a reasonable time and go home. Enjoy your time with your significant other, your husband, your wife, your children, your family, and that is the best gift of all. So in closing, thank you again for this incredible honor. I do wish that I could be there with you, and I just want to wish you all a wonderful life of good health and happiness always. Thank you.
Wow. It's really something. Gary, if you'd like to come back up, I'll give you the award to share with him upon his return. That video was produced by Guy J. Renzi and Associates. Mark Renzi is here tonight. Mark, can you stand up and be recognized? Thank you so much for putting that together.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.